and today we will be talking about the Christchurch earthquake. We have a couple of questions from people who've experienced the earthquake. But first, we will go through a series of information before moving ahead. The Christchurch earthquakes were a series of vibration in 2010 to 2011. These earthquakes near the city of Christchurch, New Zealand, the Canterbury Plains region, from early September 2010 to late December 2011. The magnitude was 7.0 to 7.1. That hit on September 4th, 2010, and the large disastrous earthquake took place on February 22nd, 2011, that had a magnitude of 6.3. The earthquake caused by a rupture of a 15-kilometre long fault along the southern edge of the city from Kashmir to Avon Heathcote Astray. These earthquakes were severe. The earthquake's epicenter is located 25 miles from where all the damaged buildings were. The people of Christchurch were severely affected by the Christchurch earthquake, as it happened to cause large damage to structures and buildings. Christchurch was a massive disaster, and 6,659 people were injured. 185 people died. The insurance cost was $370 million, and 3,500 homes were destroyed. The Christchurch earthquake was really severe, and it was rated as a dangerous earthquake. The Christchurch earthquake was caused by a rupture of a 15-kilometre long fault along the southern edge of the city from Kashmir to Avon Heathcote Astray. The epicenters of each of these events, which possessed movement magnitudes of 5.6 and 6.3, were located some 10 kilometers east of Christchurch at depths of 9 kilometers and 7 kilometers. The June 13 events were located farther east of the known extent of Greendale Fault, and they appear to have been generated by strike-slip faulting and rather than trust faulting, associated with the February 22nd event. The Christchurch earthquake occurred due to movement in the Earth's crust. Now to the questions. Let's see. Great. First question. What did the earthquake have upon the environment? Ooh, great question. Well, the Christchurch earthquake affected lots of its environment due to movement in the Earth's crust. The Christchurch earthquake caused a notable change to the natural environment, including liquefaction, which means soil substance that turns to solid. Lateral spread near waterways, land level changes, and numerous rock slides and mudslides. Roughly 900,000 tons of surface ejecta was removed from Christchurch. An ongoing issue in Christchurch almost a decade after 2010 to 2011, Canterbury earthquake sequence concerned what should be done with the red zone area near the Avon River, where the liquefaction effects were most severe. In conclusion, these Christchurch earthquakes affected lots of its environment. This photo here shows what liquefaction means. As you can see, some of the road is ruined, and that's what liquefaction basically means. That means the soil substance kind of changes. Okay, moving on to the second question. How did the government respond to the Christchurch earthquake? Oh, that's a great question, actually. The Christchurch earthquake had a lot of response from the government. The government provided shelter and food to people who are in need. The government responded to a lot, like when people needed aid, it was there. When they needed water, the government gave it to the people. The government even responded when people needed money to rebuild homes, schools, hospitals. To lead the recovery of Canterbury, the government established the Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Authority to work with the people of Canterbury to rebuild Christchurch and its surroundings. Therefore, the government has responded to the people who needed aid and food and gave enough money to rebuild homes. Okay, moving on to the final question. Which management strategies could be used to lessen the impact of the earthquake? The government really needs a system for earthquakes. New Zealand is extremely prone to seismic activity, and ensuring the safety of people is paramount. The buildings need to be safe for occupants and users. This system could be great used when an earthquake occurs. The government could think of a building in Japan, the one called mentioned structure. Skyscrapers or high apartments that can withstand earthquakes could also work when an earthquake is happening. The Building Earthquake-Prone Buildings Academic Act 2016 introduced major changes to the way earthquake-prone buildings are identified. It uses knowledge learned from past earthquakes in Aotearoa, New Zealand, and overseas. In conclusion, this system was helpful for earthquakes that would occur in New Zealand. This system could also inspire and lead other countries who have seismic activity happening, like to the website and system, and they could think the same way.